Hello everyone and welcome to the weekly roundup. We've got Nikki back with us this week. And we have a lot of stuff to cover, so let's get to it. Busch Gardens Tampa revealed a new haunted house for Halloween. It's called The Forgotten.
Victims will be drawn into a hidden world beyond the rubble and rocks of an unsuspecting quarry where dark creatures lurk in the shadows.
The Forgotten is just one of 5 haunted houses this year and 8 terrifying scare zones. Halloween is a separately ticketed event. For more information, go to hallowscreamtampa.com. But before we leave the topic of Busch Gardens Tampa and Halloween, they are having auditions for scare actors there. Just go to buschgardenjobs.com. SeaWorld Orlando is having its own Halloween this year, and they just revealed information on a haunted house, scare zone, and a themed bar experience.
Dead Vines Haunted House will take visitors through a haunted woods where an ominous force is at work. And the Witchcraft Bayou Scare Zone will be taking visitors through a backwater bayou filled with voodoo and witchcraft.
SeaWorld Halloween will also feature the Poison Grotto themed bar experience. And just to round out our talk on Halloween, Universal Orlando, and I did a video on this and put it out as soon as we got the news, but they released information on 2 haunted houses. The Bride of Frankenstein Lives and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I know what you're thinking, Nikki. Why did it have to be chainsaws?
Yeah, that one seems really scary. Not gonna lie.
And now, to classy up the news, add some class to it, the weekly roundup, let's turn to some Epcot news.
Epcot Food and Wine Festival is underway and it will last until November 20th?
Yes, that's a lot of days.
It is.
I didn't do the math. I think it's like 129 days, 159 days, something like that.
That's why I paused, because I had to think, wow, that's a really long time.
Yeah, you think of November 20th, that seems like so far away.
It really does.
Which is in July right now.
Yeah, that's close to Thanksgiving.
But there is plenty of food to be had. I don't think we're going to go until later on in the season, though.
I think so. When the crowds kind of die down a little bit for food and wine, and yeah.
So, one thing I would like to share with you, though, they are still not going to have the Eat to the Beat concert series this year.
Aww.
But hopefully next year it will return. Disney World is to resume its Epcot monorail service today.
Oh, wow.
It has been gone since March of 2020.
Yeah, a really long time. And you kind of miss it at Epcot, kind of, buzzing around.
Yeah, at least the ambiance.
Even
if you're not going to ride it.
Yeah.
Just to see it whip around the park.
Exactly. It always takes great pictures,
Oh, yeah, like video shots.
Exactly.
And then a lot of people like to just look and say, monorail.
Who says that?
I don't know. I've seen vloggers do it.
Oh, okay.
But regardless, the service has resumed today. Disney World released some information regarding its 2021 holiday plans. Going to have some projection shows and a new after-hours event.
At Magic Kingdom, Cinderella Castle will be lit up with holiday projections on most nights.
A new after-hours event called Disney's Very Merriest After will also come to the Magic Kingdom this holiday season. The new event will replace, at least for this year, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, and it's going to run through
November 8th through December 21st.
Disney's Very Merriest will feature holiday music, treats, and Minnie's wonderful Christmas time fireworks. The parade was not included in the lineup. Tickets will go on sale for this after-hours event in August, and Disney has said it will be a limited capacity event. So a limited number of tickets will be sold. Order early. I'm talking to you.
If we go.
Epcot's International Festival of the Holidays will also be on tap this holiday season.
November 26th through December 30th.
A shorter run than Food and Wine, right?
A little bit.
I had to double check those dates.
Well, it's Festival of the Holidays, so it kind of makes sense.
I guess so. Is Thanksgiving later this year, maybe?
Oh, you're asking me questions I don't know.
Well,
Probably.
I'm just assuming because of the dates of the festival there.
Yeah.
But
it's probably runs
it just
later
seems
this year.
it's a stark contrast
It really
when you
is.
compare it to Food and Wine.
When I always think of Food and Wine as like a fall festival, not as a summer fall.
A half-year festival.
Yeah.
Disney's Hollywood Studios, not to be left out of the holiday fun. Its usual, what's it called?
Sunset Holiday Greetings.
Yeah. It's got the projection show there on the Tower of Terror, and some snow and maybe some lasers and
Music and stuff.
decorations. And Animal Kingdom has something.
Ooh.
At Animal Kingdom, on most nights during the holiday season, the Tree of Life will transform for the holiday edition of the Tree of Life Awakening projections. For Universal Orlando, we don't know. They haven't said anything yet.
Not any details. We've been given the dates, but not.
Oh, do we have the dates? Mm-hmm. We'll put that on the screen here because I don't have those on top of my head. Nope. But no details. We kind of know they'll have Grinchmas. They're having auditions.
Right.
We expect the parade to be back. I'm unsure, though, about the concert they do there. Mannheim Steamroller. That's the big question.
It is.
But I think other than that, it should be pretty normal. When we have official details, we'll let you know. And now, how about a channel update? The latest episode of Rix Road Trips is available. A very fun and thrilling ATV adventure.
Very muddy.
Muddy, wet, rain, thunder. Super fun, though.
It was a blast. That episode was a good one.
Yeah. I would say, now, we do these excursions, for you guys, something you may want to do if you're on vacation, get away from the parks. That is definitely one you may want to consider.
Right.
Check out the video. Make sure if you want to consider that. But we had a super fun time.
Yeah, it was a blast.
And in more channel update news, that Rix Road Trip channel is right around 6,000 subscribers right now. We're having a little, I don't want to say contest, but we're having a push to get it up to 12,000 subscribers. So, and I did put out a special press release video on this yesterday. If we can get that up to 12,000 subscribers by September 3rd, which is the start of Halloween Horror Nights, we'll do a special thing. And you guys are voting on that. I'll go skydiving or shark diving.
Yeah.
You can serve in some capacity in a safe place filming. But if we can get to that number of subscribers by that date, now it's kind of challenging to get that. I didn't want to make this easy because for me to do these things won't be easy. But if we can make it happen, we'll do one of those two depending on how you guys are voting on that. Very excited. That is an adventure travel channel.
It is. It definitely is.
You know what? Before we leave the topic of Rix Road Trips, we owe everyone an explanation to an incident that occurred. Look at the incident board there. 0 days without incident. We were off on one of these road trip adventures. We were doing some canoeing. Yeah, pretty safe thing.
We learned a lot about ourselves that day.
Now, this is something I did a few times, some as a teenager, when I weighed 150 pounds. So, regardless, I don't want to digress too far here, but
Okay.
we went canoeing. We are not going to have that video out because we had an incident. What happened was, we were in our canoe, and there was two ladies in front of us, and they appeared to be having some problems.
Right. The river was going this way, and they were going this way.
Yeah.
They were stuck.
They were messed up. So I just wanted to help them. I thought I would just jump out of the canoe and straighten them up.
Yeah.
I did not communicate to you what I was going to do.
No, because I'm sitting in the front, and he's in the back.
Plus, I had not jumped out of a canoe that was in water since I was a teenager, probably 150 pounds. Things didn't go so well when I jumped out of that canoe.
Yeah. The communication was, I think, the biggest part, but
Yeah, that might would have helped.
Totally flipped us.
I flipped us in the canoe.
And what part do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about your iPhone first.
Okay, so I had my iPhone tucked into my swimsuit. I was not expecting to go overboard.
Well, you weren't planning to hit in the water right then.
And so I have an 11 Pro, and it is
iPhone.
Yeah, iPhone. It's waterproof. Completely lost it. It just flew.
As soon as you hit the water, you're like, oh my God, what are you doing?
I popped up. I was like,
my phone.
Yeah. So.
Now, I did have the snorkels with us, just because I'm like, I thought we were going to snorkel for fun. I didn't realize it was going to be a search and rescue operation with the snorkels.
And the cover on my phone, it's
black.
It's black. It's just an OtterBox, just so that if it hits the ground, it doesn't shatter.
And this is a natural river, spring river in Florida.
Yeah.
So there's down logs and whatever.
Uh-huh.
This isn't a manicured, lazy river at a theme park.
No.
So it took us. How long did it take us? But I did find the phone.
Between 3 to 5 minutes, it was submerged, and you finally found it
under a log.
A log that was like completely like black. So it's a sandy bottom where it was, but then there's these branches and logs everywhere.
I was about to tell you, oh well, I guess we're getting you a new phone. And I decided to look a little more. I knew where you fell, and I knew it was heavy. I didn't think it was going to float downriver.
Right.
So I knew it had to be there, and I found it under the log.
Okay, so
there's one thing, but
this is one thing that like saved him from me literally just scrapping the whole day.
I grabbed the phone, handed it to her, and guess she was like, "It works."
And it works. It worked. Yeah, surprisingly. So you saved yourself there.
But now, so I in the process of recording this video, I had the GoPro, and I had my pretty new Canon G7X Mark II. I mean, I've had it for a couple months, I think.
We had a waterproof bag.
But I'm filming stuff, so I'm trying to get shots. I'm trying to paddle. I'm trying to rescue damsels in distress. I'm trying to do it all. So even though I had the dry bag, I was just pulling it in and out of the dry bag without wrapping it up and everything. So I just threw it in the dry bag. Well, once we got the canoe righted again, there was some water in the canoe, and the dry bag was full of water with my Canon G7X Mark II. That camera is ruined.
Completely.
It's just trash now.
Yeah. But the battery survived, and the SD card of all the things that we had on it prior to the incident was good.
So I probably, as I'm editing this, putting some of the images that I had from that disastrous road trip. So I ruined the camera. Your phone was okay, but that was not the end of the incidents.
No, see, and that wasn't the worst part.
So a little further down the river.
Wait, we're not going to talk about how when I fell out?
Yeah, that's a little further down the river.
No. This is when this happened.
Oh, you heard it then? I thought it was the first time, the second time.
I heard it the first time. So when he tipped us, he didn't tip me where it was sandy. It was the log.
There was a log.
And the log, it wasn't like a nice smooth log. It was a log that had like a branch sticking up. And it wasn't just like a soft little branch. It was a hard... It was a hard branch. Well, I landed, and it wasn't that far, like, below the surface of the water. My hip and, like, butt hit it so hard that I have a bruise. I mean, literally, I'm still black and blue.
I feel so bad.
It was, the bruise is, like, this big, like, on my thigh.
I didn't realize that was the first.
Yes.
Because there was a second time we capsized. I thought that was where you hit the log.
No, that's where I hurt my elbow.
There's a lot. But, okay, so that was the first incident of us capsizing.
Yeah, and he's
my fault.
Yeah, and he's apologizing. He's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, I'm just trying to, like, assess how bad it is because I hurt myself really bad.
I swear when I was 150 pounds, I could just pop out of that canoe and pop back in.
Well, this is when I'm like, you're being so tippy. Just sit still. And meanwhile, he thinks he can just hop right out. I mean, the entire time, I'm like, okay. Anyway, moving on to the second event.
Before we get to the second event, that's where we stopped and we parked the canoes for a little bit and you climbed that tree.
Yeah, I climbed a tree.
There's a tree that goes over the water a little bit. And
I'm trying to, like, salvage the day. I'm like, okay, well, all right. We messed up the camera. It is what it is. We still have the GoPro. Let's just try to make something of it.
It's a great spot for pictures and selfies and stuff, this tree over the water.
Yes.
So we had some fun there.
So I climbed a tree.
You climbed a tree.
After being hurt.
A fallen tree.
Yeah.
And then you were going to dismount the tree.
Yes. You better not put footage.
No,
Do not put the footage.
But,
Well, I slipped.
Slipped a little. This was not your intended dismount placement.
No!
But since you were slipping anyway, you said, oh, okay, I'll just jump.
Right.
And you lost your shoe, your little water shoe.
I lost my water shoe. My expensive water shoes.
So I had my snorkel, and I went to look for it, and where you jumped...
Fell, sort of.
Fell, jumped, whatever. It was near the shore, but underneath was kind of like this den.
Yes, I swear to God, a gator could have been in there or something. I fell into a freaking...
Let's say maybe it was otters.
Okay, a sweet
nice.
little otter den.
But whatever. When I'm down there in my snorkel mask and I'm looking for your shoe and I'm looking back there, I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think I want to continue messing with this.
He's like, no, it's scary in there. I'm not looking anymore. So I lost my shoe.
Buying a pair of shoes is nothing to having to replace the camera. So
yeah.
So that was kind of a half incident.
Because I was stupid and I jumped from a log.
Fell from a log. Or fallen tree, whatever.
Yeah, I was just trying to salvage the day.
And then, so we're done with it. Things were going okay again. I felt good. I felt okay. And then we're paddling along. And we weren't too good at navigating.
No, we're horrible in canoes. We're horrible.
You were trying to turn, like make a right so we weren't running to the shoreline. And you tried to push off of this log to help, and then I tried to push off the same log when it got to me. And I went with my paddle and I slipped. So I'm leaning to like push off the log with all my weight going to my left, a lot of my weight. And with the paddle slipping from the log, I kept going left. And we dumped over again, and that time we got a lot of water in the canoe.
Literally, the whole canoe was like sinking. At that point, I'm like, all right, we're doomed. We're doomed. There's just no way. And we're like halfway down the river, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to go anymore. I'm done. I'm just over it. I'm sick of this. I hate this day. I literally hate this day.
I'm getting sick of it. Into the thick of it.
Oh man.
That's where I thought you hit your hip.
No,
because there were logs there too.
Yes, there was logs there too, but no, surprisingly, I didn't hit my hip that time. But so so we get all of this stuff out of the canoe.
Yeah, I put everything on the shore there.
And it's not like a nice shore. It is like wilderness. He's like throwing it on the lily pads.
Well, we had this big old cooler of food and stuff.
We were going to do this whole great big thing.
Make a ceviche.
Yes, it was going to be so nice.
So we finally got the canoe unloaded, and I had to lift it up over my head to help get the water out. And you're helping me too, and you hurt your elbow.
Yeah, like literally, I lifted it up.
Water-filled canoe.
Exactly, and like I felt like this red hot pain like in my elbow, and I'm like, oh my god, I think I just like tore my tendon in my elbow trying to lift up a canoe full of water. I'm like, I hate this day. I'm done.
Well, we did try to press on, and eventually we got a little further down the river, and we're like, we just want to go home. And so what happened was we were with our daughters, and they were way ahead of us. Mm-hmm. They just left us the same time.
They did. They were so embarrassed. They were just
capsized. They left us.
They did. Turns. Oh my god.
They didn't want to be associated with us.
No, they're embarrassed. Anyway.
And I guess you're having a hard time with me in the canoe or whatever. So
yes, because he's making it super tippy.
I have a high center of gravity. I don't know. I used to be a champion canoeer when I was 150 pounds. Eventually, I just got out of the canoe. I'm like, go get the girls. I'll wait here. So I'm hanging out by the shore of the river. People are coming by. Some guy comes by and says, because I didn't have a kayak or a canoe or anything. Where's your, I'm like, my wife kicked me out.
And honestly, as soon as I kicked him out of the canoe, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier. Wow. I've got 200 and something pounds less in here, and I'm not feeling so tippy anymore. Well, it's great.
Well, I was starting to feel embarrassed. I'm just a guy on the side of a river with no wilderness. Canoe or
he had the GoPro, so he's trying to...
So I was feeling a little weird. So I just started with my GoPro, acting like I'm taking nature shots of things so people wouldn't think I was just some guy stranded without a canoe. Oh boy.
Yeah, it was much nicer with him out of the canoe. I moved a lot faster. I had a lot more agility. It was just great. No tipping involved. It was fantastic.
So this is what we have learned when it comes to small water vessels. You're going to stick with the supboard by yourself.
I can pretty much handle it. He can.
Canoes are out. I'm going to take up kayaking. That's going to be my thing.
As long as you're in the kayak all by yourself,
single
because I am not getting in a boat with you again.
It will be a single kayak. But I haven't been on one in a kayak since we were in Mexico that time. It was a tandem. But we did well. We did well. I think kayaking could be my thing. Champion kayaker.
Whatever.
So,
Never
anyway,
again. We learned a lot about ourselves and about our relationship and about watercraft that day.
we're going to go back.
What?
We're going back there.
No,
Yes,
I don't
we're going to
want
go back.
to. I don't wanna
Maybe
go back
after
there.
summer when it's not so crowded and stuff too. You take your supboard, I'll take a kayak. And we'll eventually get that video out on Rix Road Trips. I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed.
But we gave you every detail, so there's no use even putting the video out. So
Yeah.
there you go.
I'm not going to start a GoFundMe for our new camera, but I'll leave a link to Coffee if you want to contribute to a new camera fund.
I know, and this all happened as I'm starting to help you out by doing vlogs independent.
So we need 2 cameras now.
I know your timing is impeccable.
Oh, but anyway, that's the end of story time. For those of you who were wondering what the incident was, that's it in all of its glory. Glorious purpose.
We're both idiots.
That's what I have.
I can't even. I can't even go further than that.
I don't know. Should we even do the questions today or save them for next week? Let's save them for next week.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, we're just running out of time. I've got to go do a live stream or whatever, and I think we've entertained you with story time. We'll do these questions next weekly roundup.
Sounds good.
So, as always,
Don't miss the magic. Don't miss the fun.
thanks for watching Rix Flix, and now it's time to relax.